Yes, we're looking at Proverbs chapter 9. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's what it says, the beginning of wisdom. You have to fear the Lord, though, first, if you want wisdom. And the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise for yourself. If you scoff, you alone will bear it. All right, so let's talk about the truth of listening to wisdom here. That's what we're talking about. Now, wisdom, again, promises a longer life for following her. This is not the first time, obviously, we read this, right? There's like 3 or 4, I don't know, it seems like 4 or 5 times already we talked about this. Wisdom promises longer life. Acting the fool often lends to a shorter earthly life. A righteous life will bring life eternal. That starts now, right now, and then continues on forever. But if you're a fool, you're the scoffer, you're the simple, God may give you a long earthly life. He could do that. He could do that. Do you deserve that? Absolutely not. Of course, the righteous person doesn't deserve it either, because they're not perfect. So, that's the idea. But if you follow the wisdom of God, there's no reason for him to take you out of this world early, right? If you're following what he's doing and doing what he's telling you to do, if you're observing all these commanded, then there's no reason for him to discipline you in that way of removing you early from this life. If you're doing what he's telling you, sometimes God's discipline means that you have to die. I mean, look at 1 Corinthians. When people were being boneheads and messing up the Lord's Supper and taking it in an unworthy manner, God took them from this life early. He's like, okay, if you're going to go that route, I'm going to have to discipline you, and the discipline is going to be hard, right? That's what happened. So you have to see that God took them out in discipline, right? They were churchgoers, presumably believers in the Lord, regenerate, and then they were sinning against God, and so God exacted discipline upon them, and that discipline included, for some of them, death. So wisdom says that if you follow me, do what I say, there's really no reason for you, God, to discipline you away. If you don't believe in wisdom at all, if you don't fear the Lord, then God has every right to take you from this world at any moment, any second. You're not guaranteed anything. You might have, a short life here on earth if you are a horribly sinful person, if you're not seeking wisdom. Now, if you're wise, it says you are wise for yourself. Wisdom is a gain for you, right? If you're wise for yourself. You gain something. You cannot improve on or add to wisdom, though. So it's trying to figure out what this phrase actually meant. I read several commentators on it. And, what does this mean? If you're wise for yourself. Well, of course, I'm going to be wise. If I'm wise, then I'm going to be wise. And benefits for me, yeah, I see that. So wisdom is a gain for you. If you have wisdom, it's a gain. You cannot improve on or add to wisdom, though. It's not like you add something to wisdom. Wisdom is what it is. It is God's wisdom, which is eternal and it exists outside of time and space. So you can't add to that. You can't say, I just figured out something new. No, God already knew that. So you're not going to be able to add anything. You can't improve on it. You can't make adjustments to, here's a new little insight into something that God never knew. No, you never come up with that. In Job 22 is a similar kind of idea. Job 22 verses 2 through 3. It says, can a man be profitable to God? That's the question. Can a man be profitable to God? And then it says, surely he who is wise is profitable to himself. Is it any pleasure to the Almighty if you're in the right, or is it gain to him if you make your ways blameless? So that's the idea there. They're right. Is it profitable to God if you are wise? No, God doesn't gain anything. You gain. You're profitable to himself, right? He's profitable to himself if he's wise. It's not any pleasure to the Almighty if you're in the right. It's not gain to him either if you're blameless. If you're perfect, if you're blameless in God's sight, it's not going to help you. It's not like he's like, oh, wow, I didn't even think of that. Can't do that with an omniscient being. So it doesn't help him. It doesn't improve wisdom. Wisdom doesn't change because you figure it out. The wisdom doesn't change because you're living in it. Wisdom is wisdom. So, and then you see a similar idea. So the similar thing is that if you scoff, you alone will bear it. So this idea, if you're wise, you get wisdom. You're wise. You don't improve wisdom. You don't help God out or anything else like that. But you're wise. You got something now. Wisdom. We've already seen all the benefits. You could, your days are multiplied. So you're getting this for yourself. Wisdom helps you. Now, obviously, wisdom helps. If you're wise, you're going to be able to help other people. But wisdom is really helping you. It really does in many, many ways, which we don't even realize. So be wise. And then the last part is wisdom. If you're a scoffer, you will bear it alone. You bear the consequences of a scoffer. So if you're going to try to do that, you'll alone bear it. You're gonna have to pay for that yourself. Right? Wisdom is not damaged by your foolishness. Wisdom is not damaged by you being a scoffer, by saying this Bible is stupid. This Bible is full of errors, and this I'm going to change what it says. I'm only going to take what I want. The scoffers that you find online of the Bible and what the actual truth says, you find a lot of those people. But it's not hurting wisdom. You can't touch wisdom. You're just the fool. That's it. You're simple. You're a scoffer. So you alone will bear it. It doesn't do anything with wisdom. Doesn't touch God. But you will bear the consequences for doing so. And that's the problem. You don't want to bear those consequences. So don't be a scoffer. Don't be a fool. Don't be a simpleton. Seek wisdom. Seek wisdom now. Do it now before it's too late. But you need wisdom. You gotta have it. Alright, so that's the end of our study today. Tomorrow we will finish off our study for the week by going over